olives are not red.
What?
You said olivey.
Yeah, I know.
It's not red.
Yeah.
That's a fucking weird space game. Yeah, that's not me.
What?
Not for me.
No, no,
I'm. Oh,
I was
no,
like,
no. You're good, Brody. I'm saying
okay.
what to whatever Nick is on right now. Like, I'm in pain.
Dildo's ready to start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah,
I want to say that I'm responding yes to your question, but not because you called me a dildo. You fucking cunt.
See, we start off with dildo and cunt on the show. Welcome back to another episode of the WASD. And we are your hosts, Nick, Brody, and Evan. It's like, I always make the joke. You join WASD and beyond, and if your name isn't Matt Grant, you end up coming back because you're not a lazy fuck. We love Matt.
Wow.
He looks like a homeless
High
wizard.
five, Brody. I
Wow.
don't
High
know.
five,
How to say-
everybody. All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Before we get into it, we are sponsored by Final Boss Clothing, or just Final Boss, whatever you prefer. But I am rocking the new LucasArts hat. Fucking gorgeous, gorgeous
That
fucking
is
hat.
cool. That is.
Brody, right on that wall, has 2 wall flags and a Doom shirt from Final
Hey.
Boss. I'm wearing the OG Real Tournament shirt. Check out Final Boss. There is a pretty cool drop coming up that I know Brody, when I showed him, went, oh, oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's a big one. It's a huge drop. Get ready for the drop of all drops in my. We are also sponsored by SCREAMBOX. Scream at our movies, not our prices. An amazing catalog of horror movies at your fingertips in one easy to navigate location. Check out SCREAMBOX. It's amazing. $38 a year gets you entry into the fright of your life. Check it out. Check out Doc Longy for any and all dope ass hip hop merch. Love my boy Doc from across the pond. Love you, Bubba. And please check out the Toxic Avenger mopping his way into theaters this August 29th. Unrated, uncut, in all of his beautiful Toxie glory. Sound like I'm advertising a penis, but check out the Toxic Avenger. It's toxic. I could be dirty with it.
It does kind of have like you're
It has
advertising a dildo almost, maybe.
It has a
Yeah,
dirty undertone to it. Yeah.
it does. Yeah.
Peter Dinklage's Toxic Avenger dildo. Pretty fucking.
Is it?
Everyone,
Really
no
his?
one's happy.
Evan has questions, and I'm curious where they're
Cineverse-
going.
Cineverse and the Toxic Avenger team are going there, sitting back in their chairs, going, "Huh?
What did we do? Why did we do this?
Glad
Kind of.
you
Kind
did
of
it
regretting this
because
one.
look at that. Because I got a Toxic Avenger tattoo for the new movie. Stuck with me now. So yes, go check out the Toxic Avenger this August 29th in theaters. Uncut, raw, crazy. Get ready. See, anyways,
Why do you use those descriptors?
and it's not even what they told me to do. Oh, you know what? I just do it. You know what,
Tell
though?
him to do that. Oh no.
Today, 9 a.m. Pacific time, this is what I need to do. I'm a genius when it comes to adding and ad reading. I'm awesome. Toxic Avenger new trailer drops today, 9 a.m. Pacific time on IGN. So be sure to head over to IGN to check out the full uncut trailer, unrated Toxic Avenger trailer on IGN. And then you can come back to the YouTube channel to see me, Noah, and Alex's reaction to this trailer for a little tiny extra. It came from SCREAMBOX. Also, please check out It Came from SCREAMBOX. That's our sideshow now. And check out the Spawn Camp. It's free. All right, anyways, no more plugs. I feel like I'm like a
Just
NASCAR.
Plugs just keep getting longer and
Can-
longer.
can
It's
I-
really
Why did you
it's a
say?
lot.
You really confused me when you went. I'm good at adding, and I'm good at ad reading, and I'm like 2 different subjects. Like one's math.
1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah, there you go. You are good at
Minus
math.
3.
At adding.
That's -1. Quick math.
Boy math.
Boy math.
Boy math.
Anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. WASD and Beyond is back. Man, what a crazy couple weeks in gaming. We had Summer Game Fest. We had the Xbox Showcase. We had the PlayStation Direct.
Marathon might come out at some point.
Marathon
I
is
don't.
definitely
oh,
shooting itself in the head right now. there's tons, man. Mind's Eye sucked.
Well,
Shocker.
that's not shocking. Also, yeah,
No shit.
Evan's suffering too because Evan picked Marathon for his fantasy critic, and now Evan has to drop it for his fantasy critic.
I chose FBC Firebreak.
That's also bad. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
It's
at
not
least you
bad.
get
It's
to
having a rough
drop yours
launch.
if it doesn't come out
It's
before the end of the
I
year.
mean,
having a rough launch, but I heard it's fun.
so does that?
I did not hear that.
I
I don't
mean,
know what to
I
I don't
heard there's
know.
like no content.
Yeah, I haven't
And
read the
also the
reviews.
shooting is the weakest part of Remedy games, and that is what it is.
I don't know what I'm
Like,
I
supposed to
will
do.
agree with I will agree with Brody on that. They're really not games like made for that aspect, like the shooting side of things. But
No,
yeah,
Alan
yeah, it's
Wake.
missing.
Well, Max Payne.
Yeah, that was long enough ago that that's a whole different ball game, right?
Just
I would agree.
Remedy, please just give us. Well, it's actually in Rockstar's court. Rockstar has the
Max Payne.
ball
Yeah.
for Max Payne, so they're choosing when it. If I were them, GTA is delayed. Just give us Max Payne remakes.
Yeah, they're just making too much money from GTA 5 online still, and
They
then
just
they
dropped
also
DLC today.
yeah, and
Like
they have huge dollar signs in their eyes for when GTA 6 comes out. I mean they could never make another game again other than GTA, like that franchise, and they'd be fine forever.
Bully, Manhunt,
Like-
GTA. I mean, dude,
you're never seeing any of those again.
No.
Like
Yeah,
well,
they're gone.
obviously
They
GTA
should
you
sell
just said, but
off
like
the
a Bully
Bully.
Manhunt.
They should sell off the Bully and Manhunt IP.
Yeah.
They should sell it because Manhunt would be a pretty cool title nowadays. Like a survival co-op,
Yeah, well,
survival like kill.
Yeah, we don't
all.
have any of those.
Yeah, but in the Manhunt universe and how disgustingly violent. Anyways,
yeah, different topic, but yeah, no, I think we should return to that at some point. But Birdie is right. I mean, it's like the most like what profitable entertainment product ever,
all
like
right, you
$13
Ron
billion.
Burgundy looking motherfucker, be nice to me.
Wow.
I don't actually take that as an insult. I'm
You
not
Yeah,
should.
it's
actually
not.
offended by
It's
that.
Not the
No,
worst thing.
Not, not an
Baxter.
insult.
Some people can pull off the mustache. I
I'm
am not one
Baxter.
of those
Am I
people.
the dog?
I'm yeah. Do you want to be Baxter?
At
Yeah.
work, I feel like Baxter
Yeah,
when you're mad at me.
I'm not mad at you. I
He
just
strikes
feel
me more
like
as a champ.
he's a
Me?
me
Yeah.
no
No, no, Nick.
oh
Champ.
Nick
Yeah.
Why am I
yeah
champ?
he's more like Brick.
I'm not. I don't love Lamp. I do not love.
Oh God, who would have thought in 2025, the year of our Lord, we'd be making references to Anchorman?
It's a
It's a
classic.
good
It's
movie.
wild. It is a good movie. It is a
It
good
is a
movie.
good movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Evan do
My
this.
wife hated it, but
What am
Amber,
I
you're
doing?
fucking wrong.
thank you.
Did she like
Thank you.
Step
Wait, what did
Brothers?
Amber say?
I think she does like Step Brothers. Yeah.
You're back
Okay.
in my good graces for when I come when we come out for the Brody birthday bash we always do now.
Brody
Yeah,
birthday
it's
bash.
coming up. It's coming up.
Hell yeah!
When is
I'm
that coming up?
excited.
When's your birthday?
I don't know if we're doing anything big this year because we have baseball.
Can we still come over?
Oh,
Maybe. We'll see.
It'd be nice if you
In
invited us
July.
over.
Oh, okay. Well, listen.
why are you doing
Listen.
that Dick Cheney face? What are you doing?
It'd be cool.
You're gonna have to ask Amber
Christian Bale
about it.
as Dick Cheney
I'll-
is what
Yeah.
you look like.
I was gonna be like, I'll text your wife right now. That doesn't sound good in any
It
universe.
doesn't, but
It doesn't.
I'm
it doesn't
harmless.
sound good.
It's
But
me,
I don't.
Nick.
Yeah,
It's me,
yeah.
Nick.
It's Nick. It's
Who are you
fine.
texting,
It's
honey?
all fine.
Nick. Oh.
Yeah.
Genuinely, that's how it goes.
know-
I don't ever ask her who she's texting. She's like, Nick sent me a message today. So-
You know, the only
Like,
Brody just goes
okay.
over like, why do I care?
the only time Amber pops up, I get a text, is she going, "Do you think Brody would like this?" I go, "Yes, you should buy it for him." Okay. Stop texting.
Okay. Thank you.
Holy fuck, Evan.
You get a message after she listens to this
Oh, I'm in
tomorrow.
trouble. I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
trouble.
So what am I doing?
I like the new color of your hair, Amber. It's pretty cool. Be nice to me. Don't yell at me, please. Say it.
There you go. You're back in good graces again. That's
Nick's not asking for much. Don't yell at me, please.
Just trying to
There we
walk a thin line here. So Evan, I'll give you 30 seconds.
Okay.
Evan got to see 28 years later.
Oh, okay. I thought you
30
were going to ask me
seconds.
about all the stuff that happened 2 weeks ago. All right, 30
29,
seconds. I don't even know.
28.
Okay, don't count down. Oh, nice. Good movie. 10 out of 10. Brought me right back to 28 Days Later. So really excited. If you like the first two films, go see it. It's really good, really gory. Um, I think my time's about up. I
Ah,
got
you
like
got
10 seconds.
come on.
I don't
It's
really
like
have a whole
15
lot.
seconds.
I don't really have a whole lot to say on it because I don't want to spoil anything. But like, it's really good. It's scary. It's really intense. You don't get the sense that it was shot on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of film effects, there's a lot of artificial grain, but it doesn't look artificial. It actually looks like they did a really good job with it. So it brought me right back into that really like cheap camcorder, like, kind of style that
I
they did in
fuck
the
The
with
first
that.
one.
found footage type shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but you can also clearly tell when they're using like that rig they showed of like the iPhone's all in like that rig and it's like moving down or whatever, like in some of those behind the scenes photos where they have it like sort of swinging on a pendulum. You could definitely tell those scenes. But it's really good. It's really cerebral. There's some really funny moments. There's a lot of gory things that happen. It's really gross. Uh yeah, I recommend you go see it if you like those types of movies. Excited for the second and third one.
Very good, Evan.
I know I went a little bit over a little bit over my 30, but like that's a minute. I mean, that's fine.
That is fine. All right.
Games,
Games.
fellas.
Games.
What have we been playing? Who wants to start? I know, Brody, it's been sparse.
Oh, sparse barely even
Mm.
describes it. I have played maybe an hour and a half of Stellar Blade on PC. Um Still a great game. Still stand by that is a good game. Let's see. I play. It's been real rough. Sorry. I played a little bit of Marvel Rivals. Basically, logged in yesterday or 2 days ago to finish up some quests and missions and shit that I had to do the events and catch up on things that I hadn't been playing for like a whole week or so. And fuck, I don't even think I've actually gotten to talk about Night Rain on here. So I played a little bit of Night Rain right when it came out. Haven't had a chance to really get back into it. I plan to actually play some games this weekend, hopefully.
Eh,
So that is the goal. But we've been out of town for baseball tournaments, and by the time we get back to the hotel and everything, I've just been tired. So I didn't play anything on Steam Deck. I downloaded Stellar Blade on the Steam Deck, never even touched it. So
Really? Oh, that sucks. I know
yeah,
you told me
I
about
do
it.
want to try that though because I supposedly runs fairly well. So
I bet
I
it
do want to
would.
give it a go.
I bet it would. They have a Steam Deck setting, I think, actually, in one of the graphics options, like
Yeah,
for like
yeah,
environment or something like that. Yeah, you can choose Steam Deck.
hell yeah. But that's pretty much it, man. Like I I have not really had a whole lot of time to play much of anything recently, so
yeah,
just
no.
been busy.
Well,
Uh,
life, unfortunately, get old like, oh,
You
oh,
guys aren't old. Don't
feeling
be
it,
like, don't
Mr.
be like
Krabs.
that. To segue perfectly and not leave an awkward silence, I've played 17.2 hours of Stellar Blade.
God damn.
Very good.
Have
um,
you
I'm,
have you been getting
I'm,
all the pop cans,
I,
soda, depending on where you're at, or Pepsi if you're in the South, even though it's not Pepsi, or Coke,
I, ha-
Pepsi.
I
I
haven't
can't
gotten a
Coke.
lot of them. I know that you get like a special outfit, I think, when you get all of them, or like you collect
Yeah.
them all. Um, this is going to be a game where I think I'm going to have to go back and play through it like in New Game Plus and collect everything, or like do a new game and then collect everything again. I have not really been doing a lot of it. I've kind of been just doing the main story because I've really enjoyed it. Like, I kind of get into that the first time I play a game like that,
Yeah.
where I mainline the story and then I go back later and do all the other side stuff, and it's like a whole new experience for me. Um,
A lot of the stuff can be accessed later, like right before you get to that point of no return. You can go back and do a lot of that. So if
okay,
you did want to, but also it's one of those games that like you get a different version. Like if you get an outfit or whatever, you get a
right,
different
yeah,
version of the outfit in the next playthrough, which is
yeah,
kind
that's
of
what you
neat,
told
but
me.
also kind of a pain in the ass. Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
because if you think about it, how many
Sorry.
playthroughs are you really gonna
God
do of
damn
that?
it.
No problem. Um, I
YouTube heard
but
it.
to be perfectly honest, I love it. Like I genuinely enjoy the game. I think it's a lot of fun. The combat is great. It's all around just a great title, and I don't really like when I stream it in the Discord, obviously the guys are the way that they will be. but
Well,
like,
yeah.
and that's understandable, and like it is hilarious. But at the same time, it's also just good. Like it's a good game. I don't really care that they made like okay, so they make the protagonist hot. Who cares? Like, why is that a problem? Like,
Yeah.
to anybody who really has like I didn't to just briefly mention it, I didn't like the PC Gamer headline about like the Gooner gamer or the Gooner game Stellar Blade is like all of the mods are smut. It's like, well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Well,
What'd
that's
you think was gonna happen?
every game. Like,
And that's
every
every
game
game.
has nothing but smut
Resident
mods.
Evil
Are you
has
really
smut
kidding
mods.
me?
Resident Evil has tons of smut mods, but they don't make
It'd
an
be a
article
shame if
about
Jill
that.
Valentine was naked here. What?
Dude, like
Like,
before the game even came out, I was getting like hour and a half playthroughs of Resident Evil 3 remake with Jill Valentine wearing nothing but like a string bikini. And it's
yeah.
like, but there's no article about that, but there is about this because like the entire game is built this way.
I mean, come on, it's
But
kind of
like
cool.
it's not a
Yeah.
problem.
It
Like
it's a
I
it's a
love
real
it. It's a
brain
great game.
dead take from PC Gamer, and they're
I
just
thought you were
they're
about to say
just trying
me.
to.
I was like,
Oh well,
No,
you too, but I didn't feel like I needed to draw attention to
oh,
it. I kid.
okay.
But yeah, they're
it
hitting
is
that
brain dead
the
take.
low hanging fruit to get
It's
the
obvious, yeah.
clickbait bullshit, right? Like whatever. But I
Right.
I I agree. I think honestly, like you can tone it down if you want to. Like there's different outfits that aren't uh skimpy or revealing or tight or whatever it may be. Like you can play as the whole entire game, well, once you get it, the whole game in like a giant bear costume, like if you wanted to. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's one of
Like if
those
you really
things that,
don't want to deal with it.
and while you're
Yeah.
playing it, like you really don't notice because you're usually getting attacked by something and you're more
Dude,
worried
I
about dying.
I will say that's been part of the joy with the game is that the combat is not like it's not something I can easily understand. Like I still like even 17 hours in, I'm still missing. I'm not getting perfect parries. I'm not getting,
Oh
like and that's what I like about it. Like I'm not really good at it yet. I need to keep playing and like do multiple playthroughs. So that's just one of the games I've been playing. Other than that, yes, I've been playing Night Rain. I've played it with Brody. I haven't played it with Nick because he hates me.
You played
I've
a
played
Night
it with
Rain twice with me.
I looked at the camera for the
Two
audio
runs
listeners.
one night,
Oh,
similar to, a famous video on the internet, but not quite.
something like that. Um,
Oh, that's a Two Girls One Cup reference. Nice.
there you
I
go.
didn't think we were gonna get there today, but here we are.
Here we are.
Right.
Not on my bingo card. That's been a blast. Like I just we beat Pest yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Morgan, myself, and I think Ethan. And that was a blast. Like I've really enjoyed just. I think the whole concept of Night Rain is a really good idea, and I think FromSoft really struck gold with it. However, I would strike it down if it were nominated at the Game Awards. I would be like,
That's fair.
you already got a game and DLC. You don't need another game.
Yeah.
um, but it is a really fun title. And I like that there's a lot of it's not hidden, but I like that there are like quests and like a little
Mhm.
bit of advancement in each character's like story and stuff like that. So that's been a good time. Um, other than that, I haven't really been playing a whole lot of stuff. Like I've been playing games with you guys and like party games, things like that. But other like real games that I've been genuinely interested in, probably just Stellar Blade and Night Rain,
Oh yeah.
personally. What
Hell
about you, Nick?
yeah. Well, when I get this yawn out of my fucking mouth. Not because you're boring.
No, it's okay. I know
Damn.
I am.
Well,
I have a very nasally voice. Oh,
oh,
don't say well, that's gonna give me a
oh my
contact.
god. So in between painting Warhammer, um, watching a certain internet show that I watch, which I'm not going to name, and then and then just life. I've been cracking down on Dune and having an absolute blast with it. It's kinks. It's got its kinks. It's not perfect by any means, but boy oh boy, is the world of Arrakis really shown here. Great. The game runs great for me. It's crashed a few times, right? But like the actual gameplay, the open world aspect of it runs phenomenally. I really like riding around the sand bike. I've ridden with Noah in an ornithopter. I've done so many cool shit. Like it is awesome to see Arrakis imagined in such a way and with so many different things to do and just watching other like survivors just like walk around or fly around or ride on the sand bikes and craft their bases and claim the land and pay taxes to Arakeen to keep your base afloat, and a lot with the economy and the politics in the game, and really cool how in depth and like the vision that they have for this game actually being displayed, how they pretty much advertised it. There's a few things that need to be ironed out. Not being able to join, like leave a CH or a Siege after you've joined it, I think is egregious. I don't think that's need to fix that on the server side, because people want to play with their friends, right? Like Noah and I can
Yeah.
play together. We can kind of progress, but like I now cannot build on his server. I can't claim land on his server because I'm not a part of that siege.
What? So how is that fixed? So, wait, can you? I know this is like not entirely the point of
Yeah.
this episode, but like, can you explain what that means?
So
Like,
you got your main
is a
server.
CH a server?
It's like a server within a server. So like the server
Okay.
name would be Odin. And then within that server there are different, I would say, instances of the game.
Okay.
So
And
like
you're on
I'm on like
one of
one
them.
and he's on one, because
Okay.
when I first got the game and loaded into it, I created my character on his siege, and everything was fine. I loaded up the next day, and as everybody heard, as I had a full-blown meltdown, my character was
Good.
gone. His
You did it.
server has a character. The servers have character creation limits. When X amount of characters are created, you cannot create on the server anymore. Characters.
Mhm.
Therefore, when I deleted my last character prior to this one, which will not be getting deleted, but when I deleted that character, I hopped in and I tried getting into Noah's Siege, would not let me in there. Locked.
Mm.
I can visit, but I cannot create on it.
You
Because
cannot
we can
build.
visit each other's sieges, and he can help me gather resources. He can like level farm, and he can do quests, and he can do shit with me. But he cannot build, like claim land. He can build with me if on my sub fief, but he cannot claim land. So
Okay.
that is
I was just curious.
yeah, it's a big thing that needs to be ironed out. But I am having a blast with the game. I love it. I love it. I love it. Dune Awakening's great. Why did I say that like Caroline Levitt? Great.
That's like such a weird.
Washington Post. That girl on
I
TikTok
don't know
cracks
what
me
she
up.
sounds.
Washington Post. But that's really it. I've been playing Dune. I've been painting Warhammer, and I've been watching a little internet show.
Are we not allowed to say the name of it for some legal reason?
I just don't think I want to say the name.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna say it. I just wanted to know what your reasoning was. That's all.
Not
He's
embarrassed.
ashamed, and he should be.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, Brody.
So, the main topics today, boys, before we just have the roast of Nick on the show. So obviously with Summer Game Fest, Xbox Showcase, Future Game Show, and then at the end I'll sprinkle in the DS2 conference as like a quick little thing I'll talk about. These were all very good, and we're not going to go through it in depth. If you want to see our in-depth takes, sorry, I have to stand up and fix my shorts. Ridiculous. The waistband, it flipped and it's choking my weight. Anyways, this is great. This is live, babe. We're raw.
That's just it. Nick doesn't know how to wear pants.
You sure are.
I gained some weight back, and now I'm dealing with the repercussions.
He hasn't stopped talking about it for
I'm
like
not
3
happy with
days,
myself.
bro.
Anyways,
He's taking me outside at work, and he's like, "Man, I gotta lose it." And I'm like, "Dude, just go to the fucking gym. I don't know what to
I
tell
know
you."
I'm going. Anyways,
You did great for like 2 weeks.
lost 15 pounds.
You have 3 options: stop drinking, stop eating, or go to the gym.
I don't. You guys have
don't
booze.
have much
I'm not
else.
boozing. So, anyways, we're not going to go in depth, dickheads. I'm a dickhead. It's fine. I deserve it. I deserve everything that comes to me. We're not going to go in depth today, but we're gonna list off some of the more notable things we saw at all the conferences, right? So we'll start with Summer Game Fest. For me, obviously, I thought Mortal Shell 2 looked good. I really thought that game looked phenomenal. I cannot wait to play that. I really wish. Well, I hope I get picked for the beta. I sign up for that.
Yeah.
Death Stranding 2 just looks crazy. Looks awesome. And to think that what they're showing off is going to be on a base PS5, that's wild. Yeah.
So, two things with this,
Yep.
because just to pause, because it is DS2. I'm super excited for it as well. However, I will not be playing it next week at launch because I will wait for it on PC.
I'm
I don't care.
I'm playing it. This is a game where I
I
will buy.
understand.
Yeah.
So I understand that you're going to get it on PlayStation. So you have just a base PS5 though, right? Or like you have a PS5 digital.
Yep.
So it's the same thing without the tray. So I'm just curious. Let me like obviously I'm sure you'll let everybody on the podcast and just us in Discord know like if it runs that way.
I'll set up the PS5 at work and log into my account.
I don't care. Like, I mean, personally, it
Like,
looks like that's the type of game where you could make it a screensaver and it would look just as pretty as if you grabbed it off of like a website or
yeah,
something.
that's
Like, genuinely, it looks that pretty. So I'm curious if it runs that way for you next week. Like, I hope
yeah.
it does. I hope you get that performance. I'm very excited for it. However, it's like it's one of those games where I know I'm going to enjoy it so much. I'd rather just wait for it on my preferred platform.
I'm gonna play the fuck out of it more on the PC, but I'm gonna definitely go through the story and do my thing like I did the first one on my PS5.
I'm just going to ban the words like on Twitter and Instagram, you know, just to
You're gonna have to.
shield.
You're gonna have
I'm gonna have to.
to.
Yeah, because it's gonna suck.
Shit, dude. Fucking Summer Game Fest. We had Chronicles Medieval. That game looked fucking really cool.
That looks good.
I was a big fan of Mouse PI for Hire. Roy Baker is the lead of this. That's pretty neat. I liked that.
It's a fantasy critic game.
It's my fantasy critic game, yeah.
You have that on yours? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Atomic Heart 2. I am shocked because the first one was such a whatever nothing burger BioShock ripoff.
I disagree slightly, just because I've played it very recently. It's more Doom than I think you want to admit.
Fucking Atomic Heart?
There's no like you have the abilities and powers and things like that, but like the movement feels more like a Doom sort of title, where like there's no sprint mechanic.
I'll try it again.
There's only dashing.
You said Doom, and he's like,
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
in.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, like that's first off, I have a real problem with
Motherfucker,
that.
I'm in.
Like, I will
It
say,
was
I haven't.
janky as fuck on launch. I played it on launch.
It was janky. It can still be that way. How
It's
and
got that Euro jank.
I do recommend if anybody does play it on like a PC, do not do not turn on like ray tracing at all.
No,
It's
doesn't
not
work.
good for that type of game. It's all in beta. Like it's a very early test version, I guess, of what they wanted to try and do, and they never went further with it. So like don't do that. But no, like I mean, I think it's honestly, I think it got a lot of like hate because it wasn't as big as or like as um what's the term? Like remaking like it didn't remake the genre. It was very much just like another run of the mill type of open world game. So like I'm
Spiritual
excited for
successor.
spiritual successor. Yeah,
It
thank you. That's a
basically
great
ended the
word.
same way the first BioShock ends. Whatever.
I never finished it. Why are
I'm
you
happy.
spoiling it for me now? I'm just mad.
No, you're
Would
not.
you
No.
kindly?
Would you
Would you
kindly?
kindly? Oh no. Well now that you've done that. Oh
Listen,
no.
listen.
There's no reason for me to finish it.
Here's my thing.
Sorry to spoil
what they
Like
showed off.
20-year-old.
What they showed off for Atomic Heart 2 was
It
incredible.
does look cool.
But
It does look really
it was
cool.
also
Yes.
incredible when they showed off Atomic Heart 1.
It was
That is my take on it. The thing that concerns me about Atomic Heart 2, they showed a lot of like
did.
all
Yeah.
over the place doing a bunch of different things, and it
It's like a
seems
global thing now. Yeah, it's like a global story or whatever they said. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know
yeah.
what that yeah.
First off, what the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know what that means.
Second, like it looks very cool, but I am excited. It was a fairly quick turnaround for this as well,
Yeah.
and I'm hesitant to get too excited for it, but it did look really good. It showed off exceptionally well during this, and it was one of those like we were watching it, we're like, what the fuck is this? and then eventually you start seeing like the bionic
It's
chicks
like,
and
oh,
everything
that's
else,
Atomic
and you're like,
Heart.
Now you know what
oh,
it is.
Atomic
Yeah.
Heart.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, just kind of bouncing off of that, since we're already here, like, also the cube.
The
That's
cube is
What
like
the
so.
fuck?
To go along with this, did you guys watch the like Mundfish, or what is it? What's their studio called?
Funfish.
Yeah,
Mun
Munfish.
Mundfish. Okay, I want to make sure I was getting it right. So they did their own little conference,
I
if you
didn't
want to call
see
it
it,
that.
dude. I needed to see it.
So it was only like the only way I saw it was through IGN, and it was like 20 minutes. It really showed a lot of the same stuff we saw at Summer Games Fest and like the other things that they showed. The Cube is the next game coming out, so we're gonna get the Cube before we get two. Um,
And it appears to be some sort of like a multiplayer, either
MMO,
it's an
survival.
MMO.
It
FPS
is
It's a
MMO.
MMO.
it is an MMO.
Oh fuck!
So I'm very curious how this works because it looks like an MMO, but also an extraction shooter, like in terms
That
of the
yeah,
round based, like, or not round based, but it looks like that's how you would play it, is through going out for like 45 minutes, getting all your shit, coming back, and like that's the MMO, or like that's the
yeah.
gameplay
I was
aspect, but
gonna
there's an MMO component. I don't
Uh,
know.
I was gonna say, to be fair, MMO doesn't mean what it used to mean, where it
That's
That's
was
true.
when you
Yeah.
think MMO, you used to think like World of
Wow.
Warcraft, Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 14, like shit like that.
Yeah.
MMO these days is like there's a hub world. Like,
yeah.
Right.
oh,
Like the
it's
first
fucking
Ascendant.
cool.
Yeah. Or
But
Destiny.
it
Um,
does look really good. Like that, I was honestly almost more interested in the cube than I was Atomic Heart
Same here.
2, to be frank.
To be perfectly honest, I agree. I'm way more excited in that because one, we can play it together. Obviously, we can all get the fellas in to enjoy that type of game, and also it looks like, just off of the screenshots on Steam, looks really good. Looks really
Looks
exciting.
really
There's a lot
pretty.
of different like areas. Yeah, it's really pretty. There's a lot of different like areas and biomes and enemy types. It looks like, and like some of it leans into more goofy style stuff, like where you're fighting like robots on like a ice hockey field, and then there's others where it's like centipedes in a swamp, and so like that's really cool. So yeah, I'm really excited for the cube as well. Like, I think
Nice.
that's going to be a huge a really fun game, and I like that studio is making a lot more of their own stuff. um can I roll into the next one with Summer Games Fest, because this is
Yes.
also a Mundfish title?
Yes,
You
you
know
can.
where I'm going with this. You know
Yes.
where I'm going with this.
I have a lot to say about this.
Ill, fellas.
Ooh,
Ill looks to
ill.
be
Uh, This studio is doing a lot right now.
there's a lot of work being done here.
That eh, and all of their games look very pretty.
They
Very
do.
pretty. They look very realistic. They look gorgeous. The lighting is immaculate. Like everything about what they're doing here is very incredible. That being said, some of the technical problems that we talked about with Atomic Heart 1, I am concerned that it is going to plague some of these other games, especially as quickly as they seem to be churning these out.
So
Ill
ill.
looks very, very
It's a
good.
different team doing it though.
Yeah, I
There's
assumed
a whole.
so, right?
It's
Like,
a
there's
studio
no way
within.
you have one team working on DLC
Yeah.
and this and that. Like,
It's
it's
like an
definitely
Mundfish
umbrella
is
of.
Mundfish is
yeah.
just publishing the Ill project, but apparently, so it's all Russian devs, and they've all, like, a lot of these devs have had hands in other projects, like not projects as in games, but like Hollywood horror movies. Like, they have done their own, like they're part of the technical team and
Okay.
like the crew, essentially, not actors, obviously. And like when I was watching the showcase from Mundfish, like it was all translated, but they were all like they were really praising for their game, for Ill. They were really talking about it is the goriest dismemberment system that some of the devs have ever seen, and I believe that off of what we've seen. It looks very violent, very gory. It seems they're very proud of the physics aspect of it, which I
Yeah.
think is very important, and I think a lot of people like overlook that, and I think that's only come into view for me really recently, with a game like Half Sword. Like, Birdie knows that game and Nick knows that game, and that's a really goofy title, but like it uses physics in a way that is, obviously, it's how real life works. So like you're going to lose your balance, you're not going to step properly, you're not going to understand. or the AI is going to trip over things or trip over themselves, or if like they have a broken knee, they're not going to be able to walk on it properly, things like that. And I think ill is really showing that with their their demo or like their little preview in Summer Games Fest
Yeah.
of like, yeah, if you shoot an enemy in the knee, they're not going to be able to walk on that knee anymore. That's how it works,
Yeah.
and I think that adds a sort of horror element that you're not expecting because you expect things to play like a video game. And inherently, when you make things more like real life, people are going to react in a different way.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're not going to kill them with a knee shot. You're just going to disable them. And like now you're out of ammo. So what do?
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's the next problem. So I'm very excited for ill. I don't really like horror games. I especially don't like horror games with body horror.
The guy who
Like I
plays
like Dead
Dead
Space.
Space, fucking Resident Evil, Silent Hill.
I don't play Silent Hill. I play Resident Evil, but I think I consider that a little different. Dead
Resident
Space is
Evil
probably the
7 was
furthest.
all body horror.
Yeah, but Dead Space is more body horror than Resident Evil
Yeah, it
7.
is. Absolutely. It's like fucking yeah.
That's as far as I've gone is Dead Space. And so like
That's
Ill looks to
that's pretty
be
deep into the
That's
weeds
in the
there, bud.
water.
that's pretty deep. Okay, all right. I'm not going to disagree. Like that is true. I just think Ill is going for a different sort of
It
horror.
is. It's
I
going
Like
for a very visceral, in your face. It's gonna shock you horror. It's almost like
well, like
this.
super large heads and the
It's
babies,
it
things like that.
yeah. It's gonna be like an exploitative horror flick come to a video game where they're taking aspects of life such as like babies and like pregnancy and like gang stalking and all that. And they're gonna morph it into like creatures, right? And it's gonna be body
Well,
horror.
there's like the goat
Of
head monster
it's
in that one
everything
trailer.
you're
Yeah.
afraid of. They're gonna exploit, and that's what I love.
So it's like a modern day Kojima horror game,
There you go.
essentially.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll see what OD does, I guess.
yeah.
I'm excited for it.
I it's very much not my game. Like just being straight up and honest, like I don't play
You
horror
told me, yeah.
games. I really just don't enjoy them. It's not even
I get
like I
that.
get fucking terrified or anything. I just really don't get into them.
Sure.
Um
Yeah.
but I will say it looked gorgeous. I am very
Looks good.
curious as to what is going on with the story. I didn't watch the whole like presentation that you watched or anything,
There's
or if they even explained it there.
They
Because
don't. Yeah.
right now, what I have seen of it, it feels like a tech demo.
Yeah.
I'm just being really
So
honest.
yeah. No, I would agree, and they didn't really expound upon the story. It's really just that it's in some sort of Russian territory, and you're in a very large like fort that has been used for some really bad like physical experiments. And like that's kind of all we're going off of right now. We don't really know anything about the story other than that. So
Yeah.
like clearly there's some sort of larger force at work. Like in the trailer we saw at Summer Games Fest, there's that like the choppers that drop those like heavily armored like Russian guys that have like cannons on their wrists. And like you see that in the trailer when he blows one apart. But like that's it. Like we're
Yeah.
not really sure of what else is going on in the story. So I would agree. It feels very much like a tech demo because of how impressive it looks, but also how it's like you
We
feel
don't
like
know
if you were to
much about
step
it.
like if you
We've
were to
seen
step
just
just
clips.
outside that room, you would go into like a gray box area or
Yeah,
something.
gray
And like
box.
it wouldn't be done
I
exactly.
found
Like
all of the guns over here in this
no, yeah.
I
box.
love the
Like
dev room.
that's exactly how it feels right now. So like I'm
Yeah.
excited for it off of the trailer, but yeah, I get
It,
that vibe.
it'll be interesting to see more from it for sure.
Oh yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah.
I'm pumped for ill. It looks cool. I love the dismemberment that we've like the baby kicking. That was really funny, and
That was funny.
it just looks dope. The game looks fucking sick. But
Yeah.
let's keep this train rolling. I got a big list, and we have a couple more games. I'm sure we're gonna have to stop on.
Oh yeah.
Fighting game dudes. You're eating good with Marvel Cosmic Invasion side scroll. Oh wait, that's not fighting. That's a side scroller beat 'em up.
That's side scroll and beat 'em up.
That's
Yeah.
cool. You're gonna have fun with that. There was a different
I'm
Marvel game
stoked
that
on it.
I liked.
It looks cool.
That was shown at the Sony conference.
Yeah. It
Okay.
was
Doesn't
shown
matter.
again,
Just keep going.
it was shown again here.
Was it?
It
Okay,
was here.
cool. Cool,
Yeah.
cool. But Marvel Cosmic Invasion looked like
You
an awesome like cabinet arcade game I would love to play.
the fighting game that you're thinking of, that one was shown at the Sony one,
That's what I'm
yes.
saying.
I thought you were talking about Cosmic
Yeah, no, no,
Invasion.
no. Cosmic
The
Invasion
that
ruled. I like that.
Yeah.
whatever that I
It's a
can't even remember the
4-player.
name.
It's a 4-tag
Yeah,
fighter.
yeah,
Yeah. We had Onimusha, Way of the Sword.
yeah.
Very fucking
That looks
cool.
cool.
That looked really good.
We're gonna have to dead halt right here because this game felt that boxing.
Hell yeah.
This
This
looked
was
Yes.
wild.
this was wild. It was like
Awesome.
watching puppets, like a physical puppet, watching that in almost like a what is it, FMV, is that the
Yeah,
term?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
FMV.
was like watching that but with like other shit going on. A crazy looking game. The way they in the technology they talked about, they're like, oh yeah, it's something about some puppet something or another. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but I'm here for it.
I don't care. I'm here. Yeah,
I'm
like
here for punching someone,
as a
essentially
puppet.
playing punch out as a fucking puppet. Like it's crazy.
That was like Noah's like wee wee. That was his radar gun. Like,
yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
So felt that boxing day one. We'll be playing that.
Yeah.
We got Arc Raiders coming out October 30th. That
Hell yeah.
is on my fantasy critic.
Fuck you, man.
That's fine. These kinds of games typically don't score super high, so
Oh,
you can have it.
I am.
I thought
Yeah.
about picking it up, but I was like, you know what? And these
I meant to pick it up because I think it will be a really good hit, and I think it will benefit Nick's fantasy critic late in the year. This
I
is
mean,
definitely
at
like
this point, nothing could hurt it. So,
that's true,
Anyways,
right?
we
No,
got
absolutely.
out
Hold
out
on
of
a second.
what?
hold up.
I just want to say check out Arc Raiders if you
Yes.
are listening to the podcast because yeah, it's that's obviously it's like as Nick said, it's on his fantasy critic, but I was able to play the beta
I was
uh
able to play. It was
a
great.
little. You didn't play very long. Also not good.
Damn.
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to
Damn.
talk shit like I didn't mean to talk shit like that.
No, it's cool, bro.
Oh, he's gonna beat me up tomorrow. I'm in so much trouble. No, like that is I think it's going to be a I was gonna say something that's a little dramatic, so I'm gonna take that back. But I think it's going to sort of let people understand a different idea towards the extraction shooter genre, like where it's not hardcore in the way that Tarkov is, and it's not like super urgent in the way that some other games might feel, or even Tarkov as well. Like it feels like it's very much trying to help you understand this world and extract from it, as well as just giving you a good world to play in.
Yeah.
Also, it's for what it is and the team that's doing it. It's wildly good with the attention to detail.
Yeah.
The different footsteps, like climbing ladders, running, jumping, rolling, whatever. Like there's always an animation for everything. It's kind of odd. Where
Yeah.
like you sort of expect things to just not do that because you know that in other games they're not going to be that way. And then in Arc Raiders, it's like there's an animation for somebody running into a wall and putting their hands up. There's an animation for somebody falling
Yep.
from whatever height, whether it's 20 feet, 15 feet, 5 feet, or 50 feet. There's some sort of animation for it. It's very strange.
It's
Um,
really cool what they're doing
with
with Arc
that,
Raiders, and
yeah,
we will get our hands on it October 30th. That's crazy. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
What else we got here? We're gonna probably rifle through some of these. We got Out of Words coming out soon. Mocking the
Yeah.
Old World, that was showing off a bit more here. That was cool. Lego Voyagers looks like a very cute game. I cannot wait to play Lego Voyagers, 2-player co-op adventure with Friend Pass where you can play as a Lego. And I am stoked. We had Lies of P Overture that we already knew Ethan would hop in and be like, "Did you see that?" We did. We have Fractured Blooms. This one, boys, Deadpool VR coming out 2025. NP motherfucking H. Neil Patrick Harris is Deadpool. What?
Yeah, that was I did not expect that at all. I
yeah,
it is a weird thing, and I understand why it is the way it is, right?
Yep.
But I hate that it is locked
To
to
VR, I hate it.
Quest 3. No, well, not even VR. in itself, like
Just
Quest
that.
3. Like I'm not buying a
Yeah,
fucking
it's
Quest 3 to play this game, quite frankly. Like
no, fair
there
enough.
is no game that could sell me on buying a Quest 3 at this point. I am just fully convinced I'm not that interested in VR. If it was available on Quest 2, I would probably pick it up and play it. We already have a Quest 2. My kids got one for Christmas last year. I could play it there, but yeah, I just
Buying a new headset for it is that's a bit of
yeah,
a big ask.
that's a big fucking ask.
Yeah,
There's just not VR games that are console sellers in that same way, right? Like
yeah,
PlayStation has their games that sell consoles, Xbox has Game Pass. Like it's whatever, but there's
yeah.
just it's VR is not that same space, and it's not taking off like people were hoping it was going to, and this is where we're at. That being said, I think a VR Deadpool game is fucking great. It sounds like a lot of fun. From what I did hear about this game from people that played it at Summer Games Fest, motion sickness really really bad because you are constantly moving around and doing things in the world that people were getting sickness really really bad, which I am very susceptible to that in VR. It fucks me up really really bad. So
Okay, yeah,
that's unfortunate, but that being said, like a Deadpool VR game, that's cool. I would much
Okay.
rather have it where I could just play it, on PC.
Yeah.
But fair enough.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, boys. Sorry about that. My phone lit up, and I didn't know if Evan was going to say anything about Deadpool.
No, I don't have anything like really to say about it. I'm excited for it. We have a Quest 3 here, so I'll probably pick it up and try it. But like I agree with Brody, and I wish it was just like a regular PC game or like just a game that anybody could play on a console, PC, whatever. Like I would prefer that because it's more accessible to people, but like keep it the same, have NPH voice him and make a game around that,
NP.
like
It is
he's
a good
great, and
idea.
I think that's really cool. But like I also understand Brody's point of like I'm not really susceptible to motion sickness. It doesn't really bother me, but like I don't know, man. It's not enjoyable to just stand in my fucking living room and just like, okay, I swing here. Okay, I swing here. Oh, I shoot here. Oh, I shoot
Yeah,
here. Oh,
My
oh,
kids
funny
fucking
voice line.
love it. I'm gonna
Like,
be
yeah,
real honest.
I'm sure, I'm sure, and like I do love playing certain VR games. Like I like playing Blade and Sorcerer. I like playing the Walking Dead games. I
Half
like,
Life Alex.
I like, yeah, Half-Life Alyx. Like, yeah, no, that's a great VR game. But like, I'd prefer if you just took that money you used to make it in VR and just put it into making it a regular PC slash Xbox slash PlayStation game with collectibles or different outfits or whatever. You know what I mean? Like like a Spider-Man sort
Yeah,
of, like a Marvel Spider-Man. Like I would prefer that. Like why do some niche VR title that only a handful of people are actually going to play
agreed.
when you could do something like a Marvel Spider-Man and just do Deadpool and make
Yeah.
it
Yep.
its own thing. Like they're doing that with Wolverine.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
what the fuck? Yeah, yeah. I guess Deadpool is just that shit-eating cousin that
Give us
gets a
another
VR title.
Deadpool game
Like
because the Deadpool game that actually came out was amazing. I loved it.
it's not even on Steam anymore.
I know it's a travesty.
I have it,
But
so if anybody
buy,
wants to play it, just
thank you. Buy physical
family
media.
family invite,
Birdie got you.
family invite. I got you.
We also had another Lego game, Lego Party. It's like based on what it is,
Yeah.
it sounds like it's Mario Party with Legos. Blighted still looks amazing. I'm very much excited for Blighted. It looks
It
cool.
does look really good. That
Uh,
was
It does.
just for anybody listening, that was like a medieval, super realistic looking, like very, very, very cool game.
yeah,
Definitely, if you have not watched this trailer, which I assume if you were listening to a gaming podcast, you probably already saw a lot of this, but go check out this trailer. It's very good.
yes,
Yeah,
Blighted. Mecha Break July 1st, and Brody texted me today saying Mecha Break looks like it's coming to mobile. And
texted all of us. Yeah,
Yeah,
why?
yeah, I put that in the Discord. I saw that scrolling through Reddit today,
I
and
would feel yucky.
I wanted to verify it, so I went to the Play Store on my phone, and sure as
it's
shit,
there.
Mecha Break is there, and
Don't like that.
don't know why.
Yeah, we will see.
Weird, but
Let me check right on
I
my
am
phone.
glad that game's finally coming out. At the same time,
Yeah.
like I feel like it lost all of the steam that it had. We were
Yeah.
all super excited for it when we played that beta, and now I don't know if anyone, even the big mecha guys in our Discord, like don't really seem to care.
They don't give a fuck.
It's not on App Store for Apple. If that means
Yeah,
anything.
fuck Apple,
Okay.
What do you say fuck us for?
because
Yeah,
Apple
what did you say
sucks.
fuck me for? Yeah, okay. It's
Anyway.
not wrong.
Anyway. So yeah, July 1st, we have Wu-Tang, Rise of the Deceiver.
That
I
was cool.
wasn't sure if you said Wu Tang or Wu Chang because there's
that's
both here.
that's in the
But
next
yes,
list of games, which the next list, guys, will be probably a little faster, except for the big hitters because it's been a long day. But yeah, Wu-Tang Rise of the Deceiver. Ah,
yeah,
looks sweet.
Yeah.
Splitgate
looks
2
fantastic.
was released in a very cringy way.
Yeah,
It was cool when it
absolutely.
happened, but then I watched it again and I went,
Oh, that
Yeah,
sucks.
we all reacted really positively in the moment, and then we watched it back and we went, "Oh shit!"
I went,
Oh,
Like, oh
I went.
no.
This, I was not. It wasn't a good look. I don't think he meant it in the way people are insinuating. But I just,
he might
No,
have.
I don't. He could have,
yeah, he maybe.
but
I'm
like,
not gonna give him any excuses. Then.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I get what he's talking about for like going back to
we don't.
Halo. Like,
Yeah,
I
we don't
understand.
have to. We don't have to venture down that rabbit hole.
Let's
But
not.
yes,
It was cool
yes,
when he said Call of Duty, though. I went,
yeah, calling out Call of Duty, that's fine. But the
I
way
thought
you
that
went
was
about it,
cool.
probably not great.
The hat choice is not a good idea. Anyway, moving
the
No,
on.
hat choice. I listen. We all wanted to make this great again thing. It doesn't work. You know.
Yeah, you more than anybody else on this podcast, right, Nick?
it's attached to not good things. So yeah,
You
just
guys
let it
want to talk
fucking
about
die.
geopolitics for the next half hour?
I don't think so.
Not really.
Okay.
That's an
So
OBO topic.
Resident
Yeah, Brody.
Evil 9. It did a bit of a
Yeah,
switcheroony bambaloony on us. They're like, "Oh, we're
that
not
was
gonna show us." It was so corny. I was like, "Yeah, you are."
it
Well,
was
it
pretty
wasn't
fucking
even.
corny.
It wasn't even. It was corny, but it was very obvious when the translation came through, and it was like just in the blink, and then you'll see, and it was like, okay, it'll be later in the episode or later in this
The show.
broadcast. Like,
I will say during the show, I didn't necessarily expect it to be
I
there. Like
forgot about
after
it.
they
okay,
said that,
like,
I was
like
kind of like, yeah, you know what? It'll probably come here in the like next month or two or something like that. I didn't expect it to be there, to be perfectly honest. But
so
maybe
I
I'm
did
dumb.
expect it.
It's possible.
No, I don't think you're dumb. I think like personally for me, I expected it to be there, but I expected it to either be at the beginning or the end because it's Resident Evil. So
Yeah.
like it's
Well,
not
I
gonna be
expected
thrown
it
in
to be
just in the
there
middle.
before the conversation in the middle where he's like, "Yeah, it's not who does
I
that?"
thought that
Like
was
that's a
I thought that
weird
was odd.
thing, right?
I thought that was no, and I agree. I thought that was weird because when I initially saw it with you guys, I thought it was going to be like later in the month
Yeah.
when we would get a trailer or something. But then he said like just wait in the blink of an eye and then you'll see. And I was like, okay, he's kind of like doing some sort of weird riddle thing. It's probably going to be later in the broadcast or sometime during this weekend of gaming, where we have Xbox and PC game show, like it's going to be somewhere,
Yeah.
like whether it's
Yeah.
announced independently or with a group. So like that's where I took it, but I don't know. I'm excited for it. I'm curious to see more. I was kind of for how soon it's coming out. I guess I just want to see more of it, and I want to understand the direction they're going in. Are they going more Resident Evil 4 and Village of like an action thing? Or are they doing more of a 7
I would
and
assume
a
they're
2?
gonna probably
Like,
stick more to the action
And then you
type
can
thing.
and
That seems
switch.
to be their thing
that's
lately,
true.
right? Like
That's true, and I guess
Seven was kind of more that way too. Village was more that way. It seems to be what works more, right? As far
7.
as from a broad appeal,
Yeah.
which
No, you're
sells more
right.
games, which makes more money.
You're right, exactly, and that's I'm sure why they would be doing it in that case. I was really a fan of Resident Evil 2 remake because I had not played the originals and I was I liked the puzzles, you know? Like I liked that aspect of it. I thought that
Yeah.
was a really unique take, and I liked having to sort of double back to areas I'd already been to get another key or something like that. Like it sounds repetitive and annoying, and it is to a degree in certain games, but like this felt like in service of something. Like I was actually trying to solve a problem. So it fit better, I guess, and that's due to how they designed it and how it comes off of to the player. But like, so I guess I'm kind of apprehensive because I don't want it to just be more action. I'd like it to be more of a
To
horror
its
game.
roots almost.
And,
Yeah.
well, I liked that there's a very significant portion of the beginning of 7 where you're at a disadvantage, and I would like that to continue. I didn't like how in Village, Ethan is like, I've been through this shit before, man. And he's like, I'm just gonna like, yeah, he finds a gun, he, checks the mag and he's good to go. He gets his hand cut off, he puts a little bit of like weird magic oil on it and then puts his hand back on, it's all good. Like, it just got really campy,
Yeah.
I guess is probably the best way to
I
describe it.
mean,
And I
that's
liked how
Resident Evil
it is. It is. No,
in a nutshell, really.
that's true. Like I guess
Especially the
I take
beloved
that back.
4, right? Like, 4 is borderline one of the most campy games that have ever been
I
made.
mean, yeah, four is campy. 5 is just outright nonsense when you're punching that
Boulder
boulder.
punch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Oh man,
um,
Uh,
either way, I'm
I
excited for RE9.
we
I
all
have a
probably at the
handful
same
of
time.
games that you guys did not mention, that
Yes.
I'll just run through relatively quickly here. So I know this is not your guys' bag, but I thought Code Vein 2 looked kinda cool. If they could
Yeah.
improve on what that formula was in the first game, I think it could actually be a pretty fun game that kinda Souls-like combat, but with, like, an anime flair to it, right? Like, I dig it, whatever.
Yeah,
The next game was Killer In Deception We Trust. I thought this could be a cool party game, or it could suck really bad. Square Enix kind of has a bad rap with trying to do some of these other these games
that's
outside of
true.
their wheelhouse. It looked janky as fuck even during this whole like presentation, but if it's fun to play, that's really what matters for a party game. Like jank is fine. Sometimes it adds to the experience. This could be cool, or again, it could be garbage. Chrono Odyssey. So this was a open world. They're touting it as an MMORPG, very Souls-like type of combat. It looked really really neat. Looked really gorgeous. Again, MMORPG is kind of a weird thing in this day and age, so it might not be great, but I am gonna keep my eye on this one for sure. Um, and if anybody wants to chime in, feel free. But
Yep.
Mina the Hollower, Yacht
It
Club
looks cool.
Games. It definitely has a certain look to it, right? Like it has a very old school look, but that's what they're going
Yeah,
for. That's what they like. They like the pixel art type shit. Anything from Yacht Club Games, I will keep an eye on because I love how that studio has handled not only the initial release of Shovel Knight, but how they supported it all the way through, and just a really really cool studio. So definitely keeping an eye on that, and it's also on my fantasy critics, so I need it to do exceptionally well. uh, Acts of Blood. This was that Sifu like type
Yeah,
of
the
game.
demo was really fun.
demo's
That
still live on Steam, by the way.
Yes.
So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
This one looked really cool. I never really got into Sifu. I think I watched Nick play it. I technically have it, I think, through Epic Games, and I just never got around to playing it. But
you have it through Game
this
Pass.
and also Game Pass apparently.
You
So
have it through there for sure. Yeah, that's how I
I
played
have
it.
two
Yep.
ways to play it, and I have still not touched it. But this did look really cool. I think I actually dug the art style of this more than what I did on Sifu personally. But we'll
Sure.
we'll see how this comes out. These kinds of games are a little strange as
Yeah.
far as like
Yeah,
how they're
I agree.
received and what people feel about them. You have to get that combat almost just perfect, or else it's gonna feel really
Oh
bad
yeah.
to play.
It feels more like Sleeping Dogs,
It
I
does.
guess is a way
Yeah,
to describe it. Like that's a good way of putting it, I think. It's a bit more indie in terms of like
yeah,
just the feel and how everything works, but like that's the general vibe I get from it.
yeah. 007 First Light.
Oh my god,
We
how
got a
did I do that?
essentially like another
Dude,
trailer of this also. all
That's
of the
fucking great.
tie-in stuff that they're doing with Hitman currently. And didn't they have something with that fucking shitty game that just came out? The one that just came out and flopped and people were stoked on and it sucks.
Mind's Eye?
We t- Mind's Eye. Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a
Mind's Eye.
tie-in with that as well.
what the hell are you
Um
doing?
yeah. I we kind of
Very
briefly talked
strange.
about this at some point, like the 007 thing, I believe, or maybe we just talked about it in the Discord, but I'm excited for this. I
Oh,
like Hitman games. I just haven't gotten into them for a very long time. That being said, I do like the take on the younger James Bond and kind of the little bit more rowdy and not so like,
book accurate.
yeah, he's more book accurate, right? Which I can't say I've ever read a James
I've
Bond
never
book,
read a James
but
Bond book, but yeah, but that's a good. This is a great jumping off point, right? Like none of the movies have ever portrayed
oh,
him as very book-like. They've
no,
always been, they're older, they're just a lot different.
suave and
Yeah, they're
yeah,
very suave. They're experienced, right? Like
Yeah,
even
good enough.
Daniel
Yeah.
Craig is like only for the beginning of Casino Royale is he like a rookie,
yeah.
or for the first half of it. So like, yeah, this is gonna be really cool, I think.
Wu Chang Fallen Feathers was
That looks
another one.
cool. Yep.
Yeah,
After
that
you
looks
said
cool.
Wu Tang, I was like, I didn't think you were interested in Wu Chang. Wu
Looks
Chang
cool.
looked cool. That's kind of your action RPG, or not even necessarily RPG. I guess we don't really know, but an action combat game. It looks vaguely Souls-like, but we also don't really know what that actually equates to. Looks neat though. It has more of like a Japanese inspiration. It appears. I could be entirely off on that, but some sort of inspiration that really adds a neat flavor to it for me personally. Into the Unwell,
Oh,
that
yep.
was the game that looks a lot like Cuphead
Yes.
and really has a very unique feel to it. I think that was a very standout. Started with the cat with like it looks like paint coming out of his eyes, but has that like 1920s, 30s, 40s type of cartoon feel to it. And then the last one I wanted to mention was Stranger Than Heaven, which was the studio that usually does the Yakuza games, but this was not Yakuza.
No,
So
it was not.
they're stepping out of that and doing something a little bit different. And I mean, Yakuza games are
Always
incredibly
received
beloved.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I having a different take on this from that same company is pretty interesting. I'm curious to see what that ends up being. So
Yeah. Um, no, I'm pumped for. I have to interject real quick. Audience, we are an hour in. There's no way we're touching Xbox today.
No.
There's no way. We owe you an Xbox episode with actual new content. Just so you know, we have to. We have to.
yeah,
We have to. Boys. I know people, all 12 of you went, oh, but listen here. Listen here. next next week's episode with Noah is going to be cool. And then the week after, me and Brody and Evan, if he wants to hop on, will do something kind of neat. We'll plan something.
Of course.
Brody has the time next week.
maybe.
All right.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. For me, man, I would say this is one of the better summer game fests that I have
I would
watched
agree.
in
I
recent
would agree.
years.
Yeah.
Give us a solid B plus. I think Jeff really had the pacing down here, and it was a lot of just like game, 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 game. However, it doesn't get the A because there's never enough gameplay. Never see enough gameplay of any of the games being. I understand what this is, but as a consumer, if I'm going to talk to everyone as we are, I really need to start seeing games in motion. Start seeing the bones moved, and like the day before, we got to see a little bit of what The Witcher 4 is going to have to offer. There's a lot of games out there that have some big shoes to walk behind. Got GTA 6 coming out. Got The Witcher 4 coming out. Got the
Well,
fucking next Borderlands. You possibly got a Half-Life. You possibly got fucking Quake or Marathon, I guess. Something that might be in
not till next year.
Just fucking put it on ice and rethink it. What?
Nothing.
I
Thieves.
I would I would give this a B, maybe a B minus, and the only reason that I would say that is the only reason, as I wag my finger at the camera, the big game, not my game, right? I'm not a Resident Evil guy, so that did very, very little for me.
That's
I know
fair.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that are excited for it. I am not one of said people. So, when you wait for the end of the show and you're like, what's the big thing? What's the big one last thing type of deal? I personally was like, yeah, okay, fuck. Especially after they had the little thing in the middle and they're like, yeah, you'll see it soon. And I was like, "Oh, cool. So it's not Resident Evil. What's the big thing this time?" It was a little
And
bit
then
of
it
a
ends up
letdown.
being
Yeah, it was a
yeah,
bit of a letdown for me personally. Again,
sure.
just not my game, and I understand that. The only other reason I would give it probably approaching B minus, I really liked a lot of the games that we saw here, and and this reason is not Jeff Keighley's fault, but most of the games we saw here are still a long ways off.
Yep.
Like there was only a
Yeah.
handful of them that even had a release date.
Yeah.
Most of them are probably going to be well into next year before we see them. There was a couple of them that are right around the corner, like Wu Chang is right around the corner. There's a couple other ones that were fairly close, but it feels like we're in a weird lull in the industry currently where we don't have much announced for the rest of this year as it stands right now.
Yeah.
And it's a weird place to be. I mean, we just had the Switch 2 launch, and there's like
Mario Kart.
3
Nothing.
announced games for this fucking game thing. Like,
Yeah.
we've got Mario Kart now. The
Donkey
Donkey Kong game comes out here soon,
I mean,
and
wouldn't
Metroid
wouldn't
Prime 4 is supposed to come out later this year. And it's like, that doesn't sell a console for me, especially not at $500. So it's a weird lull right now, and I know a lot of that was people expect it to be pending on GTA 6, but there's only so much people can do to dodge around GTA 6 before they have to release this game because they have to make money. So it's like, it feels weird, right?
do you guys feel like this is the natural order of things because the Switch 2 is like in the same vein as like the Xbox Series X or S and the PS5 where they also did not have exclusives like
I
really at launch,
I
We
and like it's kind of going down that same rabbit hole of like it only has a handful, and like the ones it does have coming out later this year, it's like that, like as you said, that doesn't sell it, like
I
I'm just curious. I'm not trying to like
I
say
I
anything
don't
specific,
think
but
so necessarily because I think the games
okay,
that are there for Nintendo are going to sell to Nintendo fans. Like I think Donkey
sure,
Kong's going to sell, Metroid's going to sell.
yeah,
Um,
I would
the
agree.
weird thing, and somebody brought this up the other day on a podcast I was listening to. The PlayStation 5 has been out for almost 5 years now. The Series X
Really?
has been out for almost 5 years now.
yeah.
Wait. Oh my
We are
god.
we are closer to a PlayStation 6 than we are to the release of the PlayStation 5 at this point. And there is not much to show for it. I just being
No, not at
entirely honest.
all. No, you're
That being
right.
said, Nintendo is not going to have that same problem because Nintendo is Nintendo and they will release
This
games.
console
Like
will be out
I
in the
That's
don't
next
worry
15
about
that's
it.
like
years. Switch 2 will be.
so then like then I gotta give them props for that, right? Like, you know, fuck, like I'm not a fan of them, and like that's purely just because I don't play a lot of their games. Like that's all. It has nothing to do
Yeah,
personally. I don't
nothing
really
wrong with
care.
that.
Yeah. If you guys like, if people like playing, Mario Party, Mario Kart, any of the like popular Nintendo game lines, products, whatever, it's your choice. I don't care. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
And like more power to you if they're doing well and they're giving you what you want. That's great. Um, but yeah, wow, that really sucks for everybody else.
Put into perspective.
Like,
You put
Yeah.
it
yeah,
into
when you yeah,
perspective.
yeah,
It
when you
does,
put it into
right?
perspective,
Like
it looks like the Nintendo players are really enjoying their time.
They're gonna eat
when
it
I
up.
heard that the other day, I was like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me! It's been 5 years and I've played like 4 games on this
Sony
fucking
straight up.
thing."
Yeah, that's
Sony
that's
straight,
that's
straight up.
how I feel.
They came out and said, "Yeah, no, we're working on PS6
So is Xbox.
and
They
Xbox
said,
is."
yeah, they
Yep.
said like the next plan is the next console, and it's like what?
What a time to be alive, boys.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like here's
Fuck.
the thing, like we've okay, no, never mind. We have to talk about it later because
I,
like I
I,
do.
need to
No,
not
I
buy
can't
the
talk
next
about it now.
consoles that come out. I'm not gonna be
No,
buying
I
them.
won't.
you're right.
I'll
I'm
buy a
just
Switch eventually once there's enough content there for me, but as it stands now, there's just not.
I will this when the new this comes out. Yes, I will buy that.
Rumor
when he
has it
says
next year, bud.
I know.
when he says this for the audio listeners, he meant a Steam Deck.
It is Steam Deck plus the Deckard supposedly in the pipeline.
The plus the Deckard. So no, I can't. No, I can't do
We
it.
can't.
No.
We can't.
Evan, give it your rating.
Evan, rating.
For Summer Games Fest, I give it like a because of Resident Evil, I will give it a 9. Because it's just it was a game
We
that
use
I
letters.
would letters. Then I would give it like
Give it an A.
I
'Cause
gave
you
it a
had
B before. I said
If you
B.
gave it a
I
9,
for
give it a fucking A.
Yeah, because then you have
yeah
A
for
minus, A plus.
no. So I would give it an A
He
minus.
said no.
I
Okay,
would
that's
give I would
fine.
give
A
I would
90
give
would
I
be
would
an
give
A
it
minus. Yeah.
yeah no that would work. Yeah, I would give it an A minus because RE was the final game. However, if it was not a game that I was interested in, it'd probably be like a B,
Okay.
like a flat B or B minus. So like that's kind of doing it at the end for me to give it that A rating. So yeah.
Fan fucking tastic. Again, audience. We owe ya. It's WASD and Beyond Fashion. We owe ya. Here's my personal IOU. We will do an Xbox thing because the Xbox showcase was massive, and I know the news is late, but there's a lot of games to really dive deep in on Xbox. There really is. They did a lot of cool stuff for Xbox. So expect that next week's episode. We're gonna talk about Dune Awakening with Noah. That's what I'm doing, and there might be a cool little surprise that Brody and I have up on for the audience.
Oh, Brody doesn't
Oh,
know
yeah?
this is the best type of thing.
You know what it is. We literally discussed
Oh,
it in our chat.
okay.
A familial face might
Oh,
come back
okay.
to the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
show.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes,
I
yes,
I
Yeah, Matt
was
Grant.
I wasn't sure where you were leaning with it. I understand now. Yes.
yes.
Copy.
So we got some cool
We're
stuff
good.
in the works. Please check out It Came from SCREAMBOX. Thank you all for the love we receive from Cineverse, SCREAMBOX, um, from Matt Mangiarides. Thank you for hopping on. That was an awesome discussion about filmmaking, producing a film, being a part of the industry. Thank you so much. Check out The Toxic Avenger in theaters this August 29th. Check out SCREAMBOX. Check out Final Boss. Oh, look at this shirt. Look at this hat. Ooh, my head. Look at Brody's wall. It's great. Everything is awesome.
Ooh, my wall. Did I do
There
that?
you go. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I'm sure the sponsors love us.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I'm sure they do.
If you like what you hear here, oh, I hated that. That was redundant. If you like what you're hearing, please follow us on all social media. Check us out on Spotify. Give us a like, follow, subscribe. Do the same thing over on Apple, iTunes, whatever, and everywhere else. Check us out on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, like, comment. Check us out on Twitch. Gotta stream more. We'll do that. And just check out the Spawn Camp. Join. It's free. It's a good time. And until next week, guys, take it easy. See.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Say bye, Evan.
I said bye.